Hey everybody. Okay, so you just finished your reading. You reread page 78 to 82 in Island of the Blue Dolphins, and then you did the worksheet looking at the dwelling and answering those 9 questions. So let's go over those answers to make sure you got those right before you start your little project here that we're going to be doing today. Okay, so question 1 asked, what did Karana use for the fence posts? So in our reading here, we're back on page 78. What did she use for the fence post? It's right here, right at the beginning of our reading. She put the ribs together. The ribs made of what? 2 whales. So she used whale ribs. Why whale ribs? Well, because they're curved outwards and animals can't climb up them. Question 2 then, what held these posts together? Well, she wanted to use seal sinew, but she said she couldn't. So if you put that, that was wrong. She said she couldn't here because wild animals liked it and they may eat it and gnaw the fence down. So instead she used bull kelp. And if you don't know what bull kelp is, you may want to Google it. Think of what kelp is. Kelp is like seaweed. Okay, it's question 3. What did she build so she could go in and out? Right here in the next paragraph, she dug a hole under the fence just wide and deep enough to crawl through. The bottom and sides I lined with stones. On the outside I covered the hole with the mat woven of brush to shed the rain, and on the inside with a flat rock which was I was strong enough to move. So she can move it, but no other animal can move it. Right here in your text. Question 4, how wide was it inside? How wide was it? I was able to take 8 steps between the sides of the fence. 8 steps, so that's going to be about 8 yards, so about 20 feet or so. So not quite as wide as our classroom, but close to it. So think about that size-wise. Question 5, what did she use for the back of her house? Okay, now for the back of the house. So she built the fence. Right here on the next page, page 80. I used the rock for the back of the house. And the front I left open since the wind did not blow from this direction. So that's the answer to question 8. She left it open because the wind doesn't blow in there. And that's the reason for her to have the walls, is to protect her from wind and rain. Then question 6, how many poles did she use for each side of the house? So she cut the poles equal length. There were 4 poles on each side set in earth and twice that many for the roof. So 4 poles on each side. So think about 4 tree trunks there, and then 8 across the top, because twice as many of 4 is 8. Last question, where did she make her fire? So give some details of some of the different things she had inside, some of the utensils, some of the cooking seeds, that kind of thing. Then here, I made a place for fire in the floor of, oh, can you see that? There, I'm pointing here. I made a place for the fire in the floor of my house, hollowing it out and lining it with rocks. So she put the fire in the floor of her house, and she kept it going every day, so she wouldn't have to remake it. Little embers there, kind of like back to the Hatchet book we read. Other details you may want to know for your house is I caught, over here on page 83, I caught many basketfuls. I hung them up by their tails from the poles of the roof. And she talks about some other things in the chapter where she put things. Okay, so that is what the basics of her dwelling looks like. I didn't call it her home because she considers the whole island her home. Now you are to work on your project for this. Your project, I don't want this to take lots and lots of time, but you can go in any direction you want with this, however you want to build it. This is going to be some kind of visual representation, so if you want to try to make something on your iPad, Minecraft would be a great place for it. You could try coloring it, drawing it in Notability, or a program like that. You could make it out of Play-Doh. You could make it out of Legos. I just want you to make this dwelling place a good visual representation of it. And then I want you to go on My Big Campus and just post on there under the discussion what you did. If you take a picture of it, do that, and try to stick it on there. That way others can kind of get ideas off you and try to make something and use your ideas to help them with theirs. Okay, great. I'll see you Monday.